Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Friday morning to you all. Hope you guys are waking up and feeling good out there this morning and having a wonderful start to your last day of October. I mean, we just blitzed right on through the month, right? Seems like September went kind of slow, at least for me it did, and October definitely picked up the pace. And let's hope things kind of slow back down because November and December, at least in my opinion, are really great months out the year with Thanksgiving, the Christmas season, and all of that awesome stuff. But it's pretty wild. Here we are about to move into November, about time to put up that Christmas tree, right? So, but with that being said, here to talk about the weather. There's not a whole lot to talk about. This will be kind of one of those just easygoing videos, one of my shorter videos that I normally do. But we'll speak on today's weather first, and then we'll give you one last update on Hurricane Melissa. So if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it, and if anybody has anything I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below. And we continue to pray for our family down here in the Caribbean and just anybody that has seen impacts from Hurricane Melissa. So let's get going this morning. Latest on what's going on as far as what's falling from the sky. We got a lot of moisture here in eastern Canada and the northeast, and some cold air is going to wrap back around into this, back over southern Ontario and Quebec. And we could begin to mix with some winter weather and some snow in like the Adirondacks, some of the higher elevated regions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So we'll see what will happen with that. So interested to see who sees some snow. Like Robin, let me know if you end up seeing any kind of wintry mix up here. I don't know if it's going to get down to your area. If you don't know who Robin is, loyal viewer here on the channel, and I believe she lives in southern Vermont, but we do have some action kind of swinging down here behind this trough, and there's enough cold air, just enough cold air for some of this to mix with a little bit of winter weather, probably sometime throughout the day, maybe right now. Let me know if you're in North Dakota tuning in, seeing any kind of snowflakes mixing in with this rain. And even areas in the UP of Michigan, northern Wisconsin, certainly Minnesota could get a little bit of a mix of rain and snow today. So if you're tuning in from that area, I know I got some Lisa and Steven up here in the UP of Michigan and others, and you see any kind of snowflakes mixing in, definitely let me know. I would love to know, just because you guys know I love winter weather. But we do have a storm system about to enter the Pacific Northwest. Really hasn't yet, but southern tier of the country, very quiet. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We have freeze watches up for areas of Missouri and surrounding states. Some freeze warnings and freeze watches up here for western areas of North Carolina and surrounding states. Wind advisories, very windy across New England and areas of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. High wind watches across Montana with a storm system about to move through. Elsewhere, quiet. Risk of thunderstorms. There's not even a risk. Nowhere highlighted. So as far as your, Halloween forecast and stuff like that being affected by any kind of strong to severe storms, we don't expect that today. But definitely could be some rain. Any kind of risk of flash flooding, we'll watch here in western areas of Washington State and northwestern areas of Oregon, but not a big deal at all. Speaking on the southeast, anything to really speak on? Not really. It's quiet. Maybe some lingering flakes up in the higher elevations of like the Smokies and the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina, even into Virginia, West Virginia. But I mean, if anything, it's really festive, honestly. So anything else? Not really. Some showers could creep in late tonight in southern areas of Florida, but not really anything to mention. Now, the Northeast is kind of an area we'll hang out for a little extra longer here. We're dealing with a lot of rain this morning, some bright banding ongoing. Bright banding is basically when you got the melting of snowflakes aloft in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so it reflects as really bright, like colors of yellow, orange, and red on radar. But we could begin to switch to some snow in the higher elevations of the Adirondacks later this evening. In fact, if you're out there doing trunk and treating or trick-or-treating or doing any kind of fall festivals or anything like that, you could have some snow flying around and falling on you out here, which I think is really awesome. But anyways, we just got this spinning cyclone up here across areas of Maine and eastern Canada, and with some cold air wrapping in behind it, we could begin to mix with some snow in the favored higher elevated regions of even the Tug Hill Plateau, the Adirondacks, and Vermont, New Hampshire, etc. So we continue to move forward here, and we wake up tomorrow morning, and it's just a cool start to our November. Now, as far as any kind of snowfall, not really calling for much of anything here in the Tug Hill Plateau. Watertown, nothing. So no lake effect stuff. This is definitely not lake effect driven or anything like that. But you can see it over here. And I'm very happy that we can start pulling up these graphics. And now, you guys, I know that I love pulling up all these graphics. If you don't and you're new to the channel, I really get detailed when showing you a bunch of graphics when it comes to winter weather. I take a lot of time, especially when we're breaking down a big-time winter storm. And so it's cool we get to pull up these winter weather graphics once again. But Lake Placid could get an inch of snow sometime over the weekend. Cranberry Lake. And just, you can tell that this is confined to the higher elevated regions of the Adirondacks and probably the, the White and Green Mountains here. And I'm sure Mount Washington will be doing its thing. You know, it's just a different world up there. But so definitely a touch of snow over the weekend. The South Central U.S., you know, there's not really been much to talk about down here in a very long time. It's been kind of a quiet start to our secondary severe weather season. We've had a couple events, but nothing too crazy. But we know that this could continue to go on into December. So we're definitely not out of the woods with that. You know, we're still doing the transition of the seasons for sure. But a quiet day across the South Central U.S. The North Central U.S., I mean, we're just going to have some cloud cover, and it's just going to look gloomy out there. It's going to be chilly. We're going to have some cold rain showers, and you'll see some splotches of blue mixing in with this green. And, you know, as we're starting to get to later this evening, could begin to mix with a little bit of snow away from the lake. But we could just have some light snow showers up here in northern areas of Minnesota to really kickstart your November. So by the time we're waking up tomorrow morning, it's like the calendar knows we're switching to the Thanksgiving and Christmas season, and we're waking up to some snowflakes potentially flying around out here in the interior areas of the UP of Michigan. You know, if you're up against the shoreline, probably going to be mainly rain. But anyways, moving past this, the western U.S. quiet, but it's going to be a damp last evening of October across areas of western Washington state for sure. Seattle, everybody in between in this area, definitely wet. So be prepared for a washout up there. Temperatures, a cool day. I mean, even down to Florida, guys. I mean, 60s and 70s for highs deep down into Florida, but it's going to be a chilly day across the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, the upper Midwest, and just a nice, pleasant day. Just enough sunshine and warmth out there to, you know, not make it too chilly, but in some areas it'll just be flat out chilly. So temperatures across the west, now the northern tier, you know, it's going to be cold. A cold day, 30s and 40s for highs, all the way down into Nebraska. Southwest will be nice and warm though. So giving you an update on whatever's left over of Melissa. We can finally begin to just sound this storm off. But here's a classic example of a tropical system completely losing its tropical characteristics, and a lot of dry air has got wrapped into this system. And even though it just looks sloppy, it is still a strong storm system, cyclone right now. But this thing has raced off. Let me know what you're seeing and hearing and what you experienced if you're living in Bermuda and you're tuning in. I have one person I follow that lives in Bermuda, and he's always very vocal on the weather and stuff like that, on what he sees, experiences. And he you know, I think I saw a video where he was up late last night and they were getting tropical storm force wind conditions and stuff like that. But hope you guys are well. I know y'all are built well out there, and it takes a really strong storm system to really significantly affect you guys. But the rest of this system, right now, it's a 90-mile-per-hour Cat 1 hurricane. Will fully go post-tropical by this afternoon, and we'll make a close pass to Newfoundland sometime tonight. This is 2 a.m. tonight, and the center of the low-level circulation will probably not go over Newfoundland, but it'll be close enough to bring some impacts. So expect a dicey night tonight of weather in the Avalon Peninsula, and here's what the Euro is showing. And as we get into the overnight hours, you can see how close does, you know, whatever's left of the worst of Melissa, how close does it get to you folks here in the Avalon Peninsula? But you're probably going to get a few hours of dicey weather, and you'll wake up tomorrow morning, this thing will be racing off. But, you know, based off the Euro with wind speeds, I know y'all go off kilometers per hour, but has about maybe anywhere from a 70 to an 85 kilometer per hour wind gust. This is gust, not sustained. So some breezy, gusty conditions overnight. And to be honest, you know, you've probably seen nor'easters that are worse than this. But, yeah, I mean, guys, that's all I got. Man, under 10 minutes. I mean, I was thinking about having a segment for what's to come, but I mean, honestly, guys, there's just, I mean, there's really nothing to really discuss. I'm trying to think, but just to speak on a couple things really quick because I got a lot of extra time here. I just want to say thank you for all the support, and I know I probably don't have a lot of people down from Jamaica tuning into this video, and anybody in the Caribbean. And I'll say this, it's pretty wild how many people tuned in from Jamaica. And I know this because one of my videos, I think a few days ago, got 96,000 views. And then after the hurricane went over Jamaica, of course, you know, you got the power outages and everything like that. And the next video I dropped the next morning, you know, got like 9,000 views. So, and that's not me complaining. I don't want anybody taking it like that. That's not it at all. But I think it just is incredibly awesome and impressive that we had so many people tuning in outside the U.S. in Jamaica, and just trusting the channel, and getting information from just a dude that lives in South Carolina in the U.S. So that meant a lot to me. It did. I was able to, you know, wind down and really reflect on that over the last couple of days. And it's, you know, I saw it with Hurricane Beryl last year, you know, how many people really tuned in from the Caribbean and the Greater and Lesser Antilles. But this time around, it was just different. It was wild. And, you know, as we head off into November, I know hurricane season is not over. My dog over here is getting antsy. This is such a chill video. I just let my dog just hang out in here. And I wish I could bring him over here and show him to you, but he's my husky. But, you know, just to kind of go back over the 3 months of hurricane season, the 3 big months, August, September, and October. It was a huge 3-month period of growth for the channel. So, you know, I know that we had some close calls and stuff like that. And maybe I'll end up eating my words, but I think we're done here in the U.S. I don't think we're going to have any more threats. We need to continue to watch deep down in the Caribbean, but we might get a moisture push from something down in the Caribbean. But as far as any kind of hurricanes, highly doubt it. But yeah, thank you for my family down in Jamaica. Just the devastation we're starting to see out of Jamaica is pretty bad. There's always about a 24-hour lag before you really see the true extent of damage in these places down here. And, you know, I'll be honest, part of me was like, man, maybe it wasn't that bad as maybe we were thinking it could be. And then you're starting to see a lot of stuff coming out the Black River area and surrounding regions, and it truly was just horrific. So, but that's all I got. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate the support here in October as we head into November. If you're new to the channel, you're in for a show for winter. We have fun. It's energetic, and I bring the energy. And I'm definitely biased towards winter weather, and that offends some people. But I'm always going to pull for winter weather. I love it. It is just awesome. And it's weird because I'm born and raised here in South Carolina, an area of South Carolina that hardly ever experiences winter weather, but I just love it. So appreciate y'all. Had a couple minutes to spare there. Gonna head off and enjoy my day. But you guys stay safe tonight with whatever you plan on doing. And appreciate y'all. And we'll see you in November. God bless.